Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. As promised, I will be unveiling my Jeffree Star Cremated palette. I have been saving this for a video for a while. This was bought for me weeks and weeks ago as an early Mother's Day gift, so yeah, I was waiting to actually undo, the boxing for this. This is the very top of the palette. Very, very nice picture of Jeffree right there. And let us open this baby up. That is all the colors in here. Let's see. Some interesting names for the colors in this palette. We have Hearse, Angel of Death, Gravedigger. I know somebody who was in amateur wrestling and actually used that as his wrestling handle, Gravedigger. Death Certificate, R.I.P. and Pallbearer. We have Inheritance, Wednesday, Mortuary Beautician, Last Look, Solemnly Swear, The Morgue, Mausoleum, Embalmed, Eulogy, Life Insurance, Last Respects, Goodbye. And in the last row we have Obituary, Burial Gown, Afterlife, Casket Ready. Oh my god, Jeffree, some of these names. So cool. Death Blow and Diamond Ashes. So, let me get into swatching the very first row, which is the top row of this palette. Very first shade, which is a matte black, and this is Hearse. Next we have a light black glitter, and this is Angel of Death. Has a slight metallic shine to it. Next is Gravedigger. And as I said, I have a friend who was in amateur wrestling. He had his own amateur wrestling going for a bit, and that was his name when he would come out and wrestle. So this is Gravedigger right there. That is a, I want to say a dark gray. Next we have a, I almost want to say it looks like a brown and gray with a little bit of sparkle to it. This is Death Certificate. That's right there. And next we have Rest in Peace. This is a matte gray. I want to say it's a little bit darker than Gravedigger. That is Rest in Peace. Last color in the first row is Pallbearer. And this is a real pretty frosted, slightly glittery gray. It is a lighter gray shade, and Angel of Death, obviously, and it's a little lighter than Death Certificate. So that is the very first row of Jeffree Star's Cremated palette. On to the second row. And we have Inheritance. And this looks like a matte, I want to say almost like a brown gray. Or maybe even like a green gray. And we have Wednesday, which is a light gray. That was one of my standby colors back in the day. Grays, blues, pinks, definitely. As you can see, that's a very, very light matte gray. We have Mortuary Beautician. And I want to say this is maybe a least little bit darker than Paul Bearer. Yeah, it's at least a little bit darker than Paul Bearer. And as soon as I seen the name Paul Bearer, I thought of WWE wrestling, and I thought of The Undertaker, who was one of my favorite wrestlers years ago. Undertaker and Paul Bearer, I used to get a kick out of their little gimmick going. I used to like Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock. Gosh, there's just so many good wrestlers back in the day. And then I was also a fan of ECW. ECW came here to St. Joseph Gym years ago. I remember taking my kids a couple of times to see the Sandman. Gosh, good times, good times. Let's see. So I finished that Mortuary Beautician. Next is Last Look. Now this is a frosted metallic light brown gray. Solemnly Swear is another matte gray shade. I want to say it is at least a little bit darker than Wednesday. And the last color in this row is the Morgue. And this looks like a matte, I want to say almost like a greenish brown. I'm going to put that right there. That's the Morgue right there. So that is swatches from the second row of this palette. And I'm using these Juicy Couture wipes. They remove like makeup on your hands and fingers really good if you are swatching. So that was all of the second row of this palette. Mausoleum. And that is a very light frosted brown. That is Mausoleum. Next is Embalmed. This is a very, very light pearly gray. I don't even know if you can actually see that. You may be able to slightly. Very pretty color. I like that. Well, they're all beautiful. Eulogy is next, and that is another matte shade. I want to say a little bit lighter than Solemnly Swear. We have a matte light gray, which is Life Insurance. And that is close to embalmed, but without the frosted appearance. That is Life Insurance. We have another, I want to say almost like a greenish brown, very light matte. This is Last Respects. And that's right there on my wrist. And now these are lighter shades. And the last swatch for this row is Goodbye. And this is a gray, frost, and a little bit of, I want to say, pearliness to it. Right there. So these are definitely lighter colors in this row. So that is all the colors from the third row. And wiping my hands. Swatching is fun to do, but messy. So once again, this just was the third row of this palette. Now on to the last row, and this is the lightest. These may actually be hard, some of them to actually see. I don't know. We'll give it a try. Obituary, which is a very, very light gray. It's a matte. We have Burial Gown next, which is a cream color. Right there. Afterlife, which is another light color. It's a pearl. I want to say it is more of a frosted pearl. Has more of a goldish tint to it than Burial Gown. We have Casket Ready. Oh, I'm telling you, some of these names, guys, just, oh my gosh, they get me. They get me. Casket Ready is another matte shade. It is light, very, very pretty. Next we have a white matte, and this is Death Glow. And that's on my wrist. And the very last swatch from Cremated palette is Diamond Ashes. And this looks to be a pearl. I want to say it's like a goldish white pearl. And that's it right there on my wrist. So this is the last row of swatches from the Cremated palette. So let's see, which colors do I actually want to play with? Well, I'd like to at least try one from each row. So I think from going from the lightest to darkest in this row, I think I'm going to try Death Glow. I think I'm going to use that matte white on my brow bone. I think that would look really, really nice, starting off with that. And let's see how this looks on. Oh, that's very pretty. I like that. I remember, gosh, when I was a teenager, Maybelline came out with this liquid eyeshadow. Had a sponge tip applicator, and it was all these light shades. And it came out, I believe, in the spring or summer that one year. And my favorite was the pearly white. Was so pretty. I wore that a lot that particular summer. And a light blue. And it was real nice. Real nice. So that is light, and yet it's noticeable. I really like that. Alright, now the row up. Let's see, what do I want to go with? I think I want to go with, let's see. I think I'm going to go with embalmed. And I think I'm going to put embalmed right in my crease. Yeah, I'm definitely going to go with embalmed. So, let's see how embalmed looks here. There in the crease. Oh, like that. I think I am going to wear to court colors from this Jeffree Star palette. Definitely. I am definitely not going to go in there looking like a bum. I'm going to go in there with dignity and looking decent. I'm definitely going to use some of the colors from here. Let's see. For the next row, I think I'm going to be doing the matte colors, I think. I think I'll be going with Wednesday, since that's a darker. So, yeah, let me do Wednesday. And let's see here. Okay. As you can see, there is, this is a darker color. There is the fallout from it. I'm going to have to get white here and get that off. Okay, note to self when I go to use this, definitely I want to use this little gadget I have so that doesn't happen to my makeup. One little problem when you work with darker colors. That just happens sometimes. So let's see. Yeah, even a little bit over here. Alright, I will wipe this. And the last color that I am going to be applying is either going to be Gravedigger or Rest in Peace. I think I may actually go with the Gravedigger. Alrighty, it's not perfect, but it gives you an idea of what the grays look like. Gravedigger, I just put right above my lash line, as the darkest gray. So I have, once again, Death Below. I have Embalmed, Wednesday, and Gravedigger. And I think that looks really, really, really nice. Definitely just be careful when you know, you have like foundation on that and you're doing your eye makeup, definitely want to make sure you protect your makeup as you're applying these darker shades. Well, guys, that is just a little taste of the Jeffree Star Cremated palette. Um, I really love this selection. I get such a kick out of the way he names colors. And yeah, I definitely believe I'm going to be using this palette when I go to court on the 31st. So guys, I hope you like this video. If you do, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't already, hit my subscribe button and don't forget to hit that bell for all so you're notified every time I upload a new video. So, good night everyone, take care, and I will see you on my next one. Good night.